I met a gentleman at an event me and Will did one time, and he was all by himself. He was selling pizza pretzels, right? So he would take the pretzels from, giving y'all some game right now. He took the pretzels from Sam's Club, bought them in a case. They were selling them for a case for like 50, $60 for a case of pretzels, right? He'd have this pizza oven inside this grill, and he would spray them with nonstick, flip it upside down, put cheese and pepperoni. He had a little three meat mixture with the sausage, ham, pepperoni, jalapenos. Throw them in this pizza oven in this grill, cook them for like 6 7 minutes. So we was doing an event, and we was set up right next to him, and we had sold out real quick because we didn't know the stamina of the event. It was a church event. We didn't know like how big the church was.
Mm-hmm.
It was somewhere I'm thinking like Fontana or Rialto, and we had ended up selling out in an hour and a half. It wasn't a good thing because we sat there in the event because we couldn't break down. So we sat there in the event like, dang, we missing out on a lot. And then we had a lot of time on our hand. We was talking to this gentleman, and I got linked up with him, and he was showing me how to operate his pop up by itself. So I was intrigued, and I had let my boy Will take over the barbecue, and I went in the direction with him, and that's when he showed me how to make pizza pretzels, and I was making started making wings. I was doing burgers, and it was like a what they call a concessionaire. So all like the fairs, festival events.
Mm-hmm.
So he was showing me how to do those events, but by myself, and I never understood like why you out here by yourself, bro? Like you don't got no help. And what he told me is if I do it, I'm gonna do it right every time.
Hear you.
And I'm like, oh, he said, man, when you hire people and you have people working, you deal with people doing their own thing, trying to, do it their way, whatever. He said, but if I do it, I know it's gonna be done the way I need it to be done every single time. And I was like, oh, okay, I get it. But I'm like, bro, that's a lot of stress on the body though. Like, it's a lot for a person to do. But that's what I did. So when I transitioned to doing the wings, I was doing the pizza pretzels and all that stuff. I was doing the whole setup by myself. And I don't even till this day, I don't even know how I did. Like I think back like, dang, I really was doing that. Like before everything started to grow and then I needed more manpower. I look back and like, dang, like I really was doing that by myself. Yeah. I set the whole tent up, set all the equipment up. I took every customer one by one. So I had a line, and the way I did it, when that customer came up, I used to put like 6 7 gloves on each hand because I didn't have like we had hand washing stations and stuff, but it was too much to go back and wash your hands every single time because I was by myself. So I'd put like 6 7 gloves on, and I'd take the customer's order, I'll cook it, and then prep it, and then bring it to the register, and then they pay for it. And then when they were done, because I was dealing with money, then I take the gloves off, and then I'm on to the next one. But
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't touch the money until I finished all the food. So that was a system I had. And yeah, that transition catapulted me to find that I wanted to just stick to one product.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because it was man, I'm telling you, it was burgers this weekend, wings this weekend, pretzels this weekend. It was just like a bunch of inventory. It was a lot of inventory to keep up with, and that's where I got burnt out. Just doing the different products every other weekend.
Gotcha.
I was traveling at least an hour, at max an hour and a half from my house. You know what I mean, to do events, and
Okay.
sometimes it was less, but it was a different product every other weekend. And so that's where I got burnt out. And I was like, you know what? I just want to focus on one product. So I sat down with myself and I was like, man, I'm gonna just do the wings.
Why do
So
you think the wings came up? Why do you think wings was the option out of
because
all of them?
wings are a staple in America, that's why. You know what I mean? And the reason why I had that thought process is I was doing all these events, and I realized the main common thing I kept hearing from him was tacos was always number one.
Mm.
So we were doing rodeos, fairs, festivals. I was up in Glen Helen doing the sheriff's rodeo. I was in Norco doing the Norco fair. We was doing all these events, and every time he was like, "You got to get in where you fit in," and that's the reason why he was always in these events because nobody was doing wings. So if you thought you was gonna get into this event, which is a very big event, and doing tacos. Nah, they done had the same taco vendor for 10 years. So you're not gonna get in doing tacos. You're not gonna get in doing shaved ice. You're not gonna get in doing some kind of, hot dog. You're not gonna get in doing none of that stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
what product could you get your foot in the door with? And he was like, these wings. Ain't nobody doing wings. So I thought about that and I was like, well, dang, wings are a staple. You know what I mean? You Super Bowl, you think about Super Bowl, a lot of like functions, wings,
Mm-hmm.
finger food, something fast, quick, easy, right? So I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna just stick with the wings because when you tell people like, oh yeah, I got some wings, they, oh, I like wings. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Yep.
you didn't have to sell it. They sell themselves. They just had to be good.